What if I told you that the Marvel Cinematic Universe as we know it is about to be completely redefined? Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into the biggest Marvel update of the year. Kevin Feige just revealed the studio's master plan for the next 7 years, and it's not just another phase, it's a reset. We're talking X-Men, Blade, a new Iron Man, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and yes, even legacy characters being recast. This is the future of Marvel, bigger, bolder, and rebooted. But before we dive in, if you're new here on Rantent, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our Marvel deep dives. Alright, let's break it all down. Let's begin with the big picture. Marvel Studios has just unveiled one of its most ambitious updates to date, a bold 7-year roadmap that will shape the future of the MCU through 2032. In a rare roundtable discussion with top outlets like Variety and Deadline, Kevin Feige, Marvel's president and visionary architect, offered fans a detailed glimpse into what's coming next. While Marvel may have skipped Hall H at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, these behind-the-scenes interviews arguably delivered more. Instead of flashy trailers, we got real insight into Marvel's long-term direction, and it's nothing short of a game-changer. Feige revealed that the upcoming films Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars won't just wrap up the multiverse saga, they'll mark a dramatic shift. Whereas Endgame was the ultimate conclusion to a chapter, Secret Wars is about fresh beginnings. A complete reset of the MCU, not a reboot, as Feige was quick to clarify. He called reboot a scary word, emphasizing that the multiverse chaos will be replaced by a unified, singular timeline. One streamlined continuity, one cohesive story. And what lies ahead in that future? Fan favorites and major tentpoles, Blade, Black Panther 3, and a brand new X-Men franchise, each one feeding into a reshaped universe that will begin once Secret Wars closes the book on the multiverse. At Marvel HQ, this next chapter is already mapped out, literally. Feige described a magnetic board holding the next decade of storytelling, adjustable but deliberate. This time, it's not about quantity. It's about quality, tight, focused narratives that honor the past while building something entirely new. And leading the charge into this reset era? The X-Men. Ever since Disney's acquisition of Fox, fans have been eagerly waiting for Marvel's mutants to make their official MCU debut. And now, it's happening, though not in a way you might expect. Kevin Feige confirmed that an all-new X-Men team will arrive after Avengers, Secret Wars, serving as the first major chapter of the post-reset timeline. The film will be directed by Jake Schreier, who's just come off Thunderbolts and is currently slated for a 2028 release, just months after Secret Wars reshapes the universe. But this won't be a continuation of the Fox era. While legacy actors like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are set to return for one final appearance in Avengers, Doomsday, the true MCU X-Men, will be entirely recast. Marvel is starting fresh, with younger characters, a renewed focus on the Xavier school, and a return to the timeless themes of alienation, identity, and belonging. Feige emphasized that the X-Men have always told stories about those who feel different, those who live on the margins. That emotional core will shape the new narrative. Imagine something in the spirit of X-Men, first class, but deeply rooted in modern issues, and this new, singular timeline. Interestingly, Marvel once considered a full X-Men Academy series, and that concept may still surface. But for now, the film itself will lay the foundation. New faces, personal stories, and a grounded tone. And while characters like Wolverine are expected to appear eventually, Feige hinted that even he may be recast, setting the stage for a fresh generation to lead. The X-Men aren't just arriving, they're being reimagined as the heart of Marvel's future. Now here's where things get a little emotional. It's the question that's lingered ever since Endgame. Will we ever see Iron Man and Captain America again? According to Kevin Feige, the answer is yes, but not in the way we're used to. Feige has officially confirmed that both Tony Stark and Steve Rogers, the foundational heroes of the MCU, will eventually be recast. That's right, new actors will take up the mantles once made iconic by Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. And while that might sound unthinkable to longtime fans, Feige insists it's a natural next step. He pointed to long-running franchises like James Bond, Batman, and even DC's newly rebooted Superman, now played by David Corenswet, as proof that legendary characters can evolve through fresh portrayals without losing their impact. Feige acknowledged just how difficult it is to replace actors who defined a generation. But for Marvel's future to grow, some legacies must be reborn, not retired. These aren't replacements, they're successors, continuing the journey with new depth and direction. And no, this isn't about erasing what came before. The stories of Downey's Tony and Evan's Cap will remain canon. The new versions will simply pick up the torch, shaped by the events of Secret Wars and the world it leaves behind. Feige even teased possible new solo films, like the Invincible Iron Man, hinting that these fresh faces could lead major crossovers, fighting alongside the Fantastic Four or the newly reimagined X-Men. Not every hero will be recast, though. Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Chris Hemsworth's Thor are expected to stick around. But for Iron Man and Cap, their return is inevitable, just with new faces ready to carry the legacy forward. Among all the chaos and reshuffling in Marvel's future, one project fans feared might vanish was Blade. But Kevin Feige has finally put those fears to rest. Blade is very much alive and still on Marvel's slate. Mahershala Ali remains attached to the role, even after years of delays, multiple director changes, and creative overhauls. First announced in 2019 to thunderous applause at San Diego Comic-Con, Blade has since struggled behind the scenes. Scripts were rewritten, tones debated, and at one point, the film was even removed from the official release calendar. So what was the holdup? According to Feige, Marvel didn't want to fall into the trap of making Blade a leather coat vampire slayer cliché. They didn't just want to throw Mahershala into a trench coat and start slicing vampires. Instead, they aimed to craft a meaningful, story-driven version of Blade that fits within the evolving MCU. Feige revealed that at least 4 versions of the Blade script were in development, one of them set in the 1930s as a period piece. That version was scrapped, and its costume design was even recycled into another film. Now, Marvel has settled on a modern-day Blade, grounding the story in today's world. That said, don't expect Blade to arrive anytime soon. While it remains part of a long-term plan, it's likely to hit theaters after Secret Wars as part of the next saga. Still, the confirmation that Blade is coming, paired with the promise of Mahershala Ali's return, has reignited hope among fans. And with the MCU's renewed focus on tighter storytelling and darker themes, Blade could carve out a unique space in Marvel's new reset timeline. This won't be the Blade we've seen before. It'll be something sharper, smarter, and far more connected. And speaking of what's still very much alive, Spider-Man, Brand New Day, is not just happening, it's shaping up to be one of the most important stories in the reset MCU. Kevin Feige confirmed that Tom Holland will return in what he called Spider-Man's most proper outing yet. This time, Peter Parker isn't swinging through multiverses or tagging along with the Avengers. He's back where he belongs, alone, grounded, and finally stepping into the role of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Set in the aftermath of No Way Home, Brand New Day will explore Peter's new life, forgotten by the world, broke, and navigating street-level threats in a homemade suit. No more Stark tech. No more mentorship. Just Peter, his instincts, and the city. What makes this even more exciting? John Bernthal's Punisher is joining the story. That's right, Feige officially confirmed that Frank Castle will be a featured character in the film. While his tone will be slightly adjusted to fit within the Spider-Man universe, this crossover is still expected to bring serious edge and intensity. We're talking street-level grit with emotional weight. Feige described this chapter as a fresh start for the character, and it feels long overdue. After 3 movies of build-up, Brand New Day finally gives us the classic Spider-Man fans have wanted from a start, struggling, sacrificing, and standing on his own. The film is already in early production, with Destin Daniel Cretton behind the camera, and shooting is expected to begin soon. Everything Feige shared points to this being a major tonal shift, not just for Spider-Man, but for how Marvel tells grounded stories in a post-Secret Wars world. So while cosmic wars and mutant arrivals loom on the horizon, back in the alleys of Queens, Peter Parker is just getting started. Now, while Spider-Man's story is clearly moving forward, not every thread from the multiverse saga will be joining him in this new era. Kevin Feige was surprisingly candid about it. Not everything is coming with us. In fact, a large chunk of characters, plot lines, and even post-credit scenes may quietly vanish as Marvel resets the board. Feige explained that some stories will carry over into the reset timeline, especially those still building momentum in Phase 6. But others? They'll be left behind, either unresolved or shelved indefinitely. Think of this as Marvel clearing the clutter. When asked about loose ends like the Eternals, the Young Avengers, and half-baked multiverse arcs, Feige simply said, some of those may come back, some maybe not. Maybe in 17 years. It's a cheeky nod to the Incredible Hulk's Tim Blake Nelson finally returning after nearly 2 decades, but also a subtle way of saying, don't expect every thread to tie up neatly. That includes projects like the Young Avengers, which Feige labeled as potential. Translation: if it doesn't fit the new vision or feel organically earned, it's not a priority. However, not everyone is getting the axe. Feige confirmed that characters like Chris Hemsworth's Thor, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and Iman Vellani's Ms. Marvel are likely sticking around. He even called Kamala Khan one of Marvel's best casting decisions, signaling her importance moving forward. It's clear that Marvel is trimming the fat, ditching quantity, in favor of tighter, more focused storytelling. The reset isn't about erasing history, it's about refining it, choosing which pieces to carry into a sharper, more cohesive future. And as Marvel prepares to close the chapter on the multiverse, the next saga is already being written. So, with the past being carefully curated, all eyes are now on what's ahead, and Marvel's plans aren't just ambitious, they're already in motion. Kevin Feige confirmed that the studio is deep into development on Phase 7, 8, and 9. Yes, Marvel's next 3 phases are already mapped out. But this time, they're not winging it. Feige admitted that post-Endgame, they experimented a little too much. Quantity overtook quality. Too many shows, too many disconnected stories. That era is over. The next saga will be more focused, more deliberate, and more in line with what made the Infinity Saga work so well. Fewer Disney Plus series, leaner theatrical slates. Every project now has to earn its place. And what is this new saga all about? According to Feige, Secret Wars will be the reset button, and the X-Men will be its launching pad. The multiverse will collapse into a single, streamlined continuity. No more variant overload. No more timelines crisscrossing. Just one cohesive universe where stories can breathe and characters can actually grow. This isn't just about nostalgia or rebooting for the sake of it. It's about telling new stories that build legacy, not rely on it. Expect Marvel to double down on themes of identity, generational shifts, and grounded conflict, especially with the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and younger heroes taking the lead. And yes, a new Iron Man, a new Cap, and even a reimagined Hulk are on the table. Feige teased an eventual return for legacy titles, perhaps under new names like the Invincible Iron Man, but framed within this tighter, more emotionally driven framework. Simply put, Marvel isn't just evolving. It's refining its DNA for the next decade. And this time, they're doing it with precision. So there you have it. Marvel's plan to reboot without rebooting. To reset the universe while keeping its soul intact. A delicate balancing act, but if anyone can pull off, it's Kevin Feige. Now it's your turn. What do you think about recasting Iron Man and Cap? Are you excited for the MCU reset? And who do you want to see play the new Wolverine? Drop your theories in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for all the latest MCU breakdowns and leaks. Until next time.